reducing plastic waste, improving menstrual health access, and creating new income stream of farmers. So we have 2 minutes to set up. Are you ready? Okay, hold on. Okay, so word forming will start when you talk.
The thing that you just called a waste, did you believe that this can save millions of lives? Yes, I'm not exaggerating. These corn byproducts, 70% of them has gone to waste and turned into a biohazard, create a massive pollution crisis. And at the same time, 100 millions of women on Earth has no access to pads, and at the same time, their lives were disrupted because they couldn't afford a single pad, which is a thing that should be essential and made for every woman on Earth. By using this source of fiber, we can create one solution that can solve two problems at the same time, which is agriculture and menstrual waste.
So how do we solve the problem? First, this is a regular pads that composed of three main layers, which is the skin contact, the core, and also the barrier. The process is actually very easy, only 4 steps. The receiving, fast sanitizing, fast threading, and fast molding. And over here, we have our own prototype here. This is a core layer of the pads that in fact can absorb same amount of volume as a regular pads does. So what this means is that with 100 kilograms of input, we can generate 10,000 pads, a lifetime supply for one person. And we do everything in 48 hours. So fast.
Sounds very amazing. What we have done so far, we accumulate over 100 anonymous survey applicants, and the results shows like this. 80% of them actually very interested about the comfort, 70% worry about the current pads that are looking is harmful for the environment, and last 80% are willing to try it. This prototype is ready, as you see before you. How are we going to get our first customer? Of course, from the applicants on the survey, because they will show an interest and a concern about the products. So we estimate for the next 2 months the MVP will be ready. We are financing the process because we're not focusing just on the product. Once we define the MVPs, we're going to continue to work backward towards the process itself. So in this category, we focus on 3 things: the cost, which comes to shortening the sourcing, and also authenticate for the licensing and also third-party credentials. Ensure that all the standard quality make it to the expectation. Last but not least is using the skill for marketing. This is what the normal manufacturer looks like. Very long in the supply chain, very constricted. What we are offering is simplified down to 3 simple parts: farming, processing, and direct marketing. How we're going to make it viable is by duplicating the process itself. We're constantly learning from the applicants and doing the surveys and the features that they're looking for. And this is able to allocate towards the resource and specific community that we're using. Since menstrual cycle is actually predictable and a timely matter, we can provide a subscription model for that. So the bigger picture that we're offering is process is actually greater than product. Everybody can copy the products, but you cannot copy the network and the trust. So the bigger picture that we're offering is
Fast need you to achieve it.
Thank you so much, guys.
judges, are you ready? Okay, the 4 minutes starts now.
Where is your first priority market? And you mentioned about the more than million of the women, they don't have the access to the pads. It's because of the cost, the pricing, or it's because of the taboo, because they don't think it's necessary to have this.
Okay, so I will address your second question first. And for this part, so we do some studies in Africa and Southeast Asia as well. So there's a lot of place in rural area where women has no access to pads because we live in modern area, right? So we cannot imagine how it looks like. So they have to use from fabric to dust to anything that can be used, which create a lot of disease. And actually, like millions of them that you cannot even imagine, like they're living under poverty. So at least they can use plastic pads which contain 90% of plastic. It's the best for them already. And how can they think of eco-friendly pads then? So our idea is to make it accessible for everyone, because this replicable process can be placed literally in any countries, which reduce the cost of logistics and also transportation, which make it accessible for even the rural area.
So have you calculated how much do you want to sell for each pad?
We cannot answer that question right now because so far the prototype that you see is only this layering right here, which is the middle part. Basically, the conventional pads that you see right here is the conventional pads. You got the top layer, which is skin contact, and the absorbency, and the foundation, which is water resistant. But what we focus on right now, that presented to you today, is the absorbency part, which is the crucial part. We estimate that it should be ready within the next 2 months for the MVPs. So to your question, it's coming.
Actually, for your question, so in case we make an estimated cost carefully, because this is from lab testing and free materials, so it's a bit hard. So here's the one that we try to compensate the value, conventional and for compacts. So you can see that the price is actually cheaper because we are not using material that made from anywhere else, or they have to produce it somewhere and then transfer it to Taiwan. We use local products.
If demand grows quickly, can your supply chain scale without losing quality?
During this part, all the process that you see right here is done inside laboratory. So we can only perform with the limited equipment and the resource that we have. Once we finalize the MVPs, we're going to utilize renting a site, off-site of the campus, of course, and then start start really emphasizing on perfecting the skills, because now we got a approach for the source. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of input that comes in. So how we're going to store it, how we're going to process it is a whole different scenario besides just inside the lab.
And in your business model, do you try to sell the machine or sell the pads?
We're selling the patterns. The patterns. The process is ongoing base. It's
Thank you so much,
Thank
Fast.
you.